What's up, boys? So don't forget, if you want to get in my Discord, all you got to do is go DM me on Instagram at Spencer Turley, no spaces and no capital letters. I'll get you in my Discord, dog. We've been getting on there playing Supercross 3, MX Simulator pretty much every night. So, yeah, man. And you can also get in team tryouts that way as well. So let's get it, dude. Okay, so this whole like graphical update thing with Supercross 3, this is really confusing, and I don't really know what's actually gone on with this. But like, if you played this game in the first week of it coming out, you know, before that first update, you noticed sort of how the graphics were in the game and the overall look of everything. And then once that first update came out, everything just looked a little different, right? And the reason why I know this is not just me thinking this is because I noticed it on my own after that first update, like the first day playing it. And then I also talked to a few dudes in my team, and they were noticing that exact same thing as well. And then other people in comments of the videos also said they noticed the same thing as well. And it wasn't really like put in the patch notes as like a really big feature thing or whatever. It wasn't really like, oh, hey, yeah, we also made some graphical changes. I don't really feel like it was that apparent in the patch notes. So I don't really know like what they've changed or how they've changed it. But like, you can really notice specifically on some of these, getting on here on some of these, you know, in-stadium Supercross tracks on the time trial mode that are actually like, you know, outside where you can get the sunlight on it. Those are the ones where you can really start noticing that they've done something different. It's almost like, it's like a, I don't even know what you call it. It's like they've kind of changed the gamma a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Everything's just got a little bit of a different graphical look than what it did have when the game first came out. So that's interesting. Not really sure what the decision, why they did that, but if anybody has any more information on this, definitely let me know down in the comments. But just want to come in here and make a little video on this. They definitely did, you know, change the graphics in some kind of a way here. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Kind of almost in a weird way, kind of resembles like the graphical vibe of All Out a little bit. I don't know if that's just me thinking that, but it's kind of got a little bit of that going on. I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. I really don't know. But either way, yeah. So somewhat of a damn graphical update. Not really sure if they're going to do more in the future or not or whatever. Or if they just might have just been a little graphical bug that they had that was causing it to look kind of goofy. So then we're like over here thinking it's some kind of graphical update, but it's really not. It's more of just a graphical fix. That could have definitely been the case. I'm not really sure, but yeah, everything's got more of like a stylized look to the dirt and the overall visual graphical effect of it. Like, it's just got a little bit, I don't know, that's the only way I know how to explain it, a little more stylized. Everything's a little darker, a little more rusticy, gritty. I don't really know any other way to explain it, and that's something, like I said, that has changed from when the game first came out to that first update. So somehow they've changed it in some kind of way, and if you get into the game nowadays after that first update, you wouldn't even notice that. You wouldn't even know that. You wouldn't even know that they've changed it. So, but yeah, just a little something I noticed. I don't know. Definitely let me know, guys. I don't know what's going on with this, to be honest. Something I kind of noticed and wanted to come in here and kind of make a little video on it real quick, just explaining it to you guys. But yeah, man, I'm really impressed on some of the tracks in this game when you get like just the wet track mode. This is something some of you guys really need to come in here and do if you're wanting to see like some cool graphical effects to this game. Okay, so what can happen, and I feel like a lot of people don't even actually experience this in this game, but what you can do is go in here on one of these, in-stadium tracks right here, like the open stadiums where you can put the rain mode on and everything, right? The rain mode and the wet track and all that, but go in there in time trial where it's daytime instead of nighttime, but put it on just the wet track mode so it's not like the dark, rainy vibe action, right? And it gives you this really cool, like, super watered practice, or like the day after it's rained hardcore on a Supercross track, you know, really gives it a cool graphical feel. This shit's almost dark, dog. Like, look at this. And on some of these tracks, they get so dark because of, like, the time of day of the time trial of the practice, you know what I mean? That it makes it to where, like, you literally can barely even see where you're going. So you can get some really cool, just imagine racing on something like this. This would be really sick if you could do that, even though I don't really think you can because it's only in time trial. So I really think Milestone needs to give you the ability to run this, like, daytime versions of these tracks, even in a racing, you know, like a multiplayer race or a custom race or whatever, because they have basically a whole nother look to every single track out there, but you don't even experience it unless you go into the time trial. And you don't even experience the wet version of the daytime version of some of these tracks if you don't go in there to the wet track versions of some of these tracks in time trial. And I feel like most people just don't do that, you know what I mean? Most people are actually running real races where it's the nighttime versions of the tracks, or they're going in there and running the full-blown rain mode, or when they're in time trial, they're not running it in rain mode, and they're certainly usually not running it with the wet track specific mode on, you know. The wet track is actually completely different than the quote-unquote rain mode in the game. So this is just something to keep in mind on these tracks, specifically that have the open stadiums. You can get a insane different look going here on some of these tracks whenever you get it on the wet track mode in time trial specifically. So just something I wanted to point out, something that's pretty cool I noticed in the game. So either way, go DM me up on Insta. I'll get you my Discord. Spencer Turley, no spaces, no capital letters. You know what it is, dog. Later, dudes.